All right, so if you want to understand damage caps in Granblue Fantasy Endless Ragnarok, there is a couple of quality life changes they've added to allow us to see really what's going on, so that you can figure out how to do the most damage that is possible for your character with the build that you're comfortable with. So, if we head into our gear, I'm just going to strip everything to begin, because we want to start with the baseline. We'll keep this weapon on, that's fine. It has some extra damage, but that's fine. It's okay. And then we're going to strip summons. Okay, so now we're just pretty much bare bone. We're going to strip mastery traits as well. And this will basically teach you how to make a build. Yo, welcome in. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we've got nothing on right now. And we have 83% crit rate. You can see that in the bottom left. If you look in the bottom left, you're going to see 83% crit rate. Now, that's a problem because our damage is not a constant now, right? 17% of the time, statistically, we're going to deal less damage. So let's go ahead and add some crit. So when you're in this window, I'm using PlayStation controls, so I'm going to hit the map button. I'm going to go over to filters. I'm going to press R2, reset all the ones I had already. I'm going to go to basic stats and then crit. You can do this to filter what you'd like so that you can find specific sigils a little bit easier. I'm going to put in just crit, okay? For the sake of this test, now we have 100% crit rate. And our build has a little bit of attack, a little bit of stun. This is just stuff that's already in the build. We can't do much about it. That's okay. We have some extra damage cap and attack percent. And we have some supplemental damage, which I'm going to change out. Or, yeah, I'm going to change it out. We'll explain it in a minute. I'll just change it to HP. Okay. Now, when we're hitting the boss, how do we know if we're dealing the most damage? We're also going to change this. If you go into practice settings, you can change skill cooldown to instant so that you can test. You just have instant cooldowns on your buttons. Okay, so how do I know if I'm hitting the boss for all the damage I can be? That's 119,249. 116,872. There's a little bit of variance here, so if we press left or right on the D-pad, or whatever keyboard and mouse control it happens to be, now we're focusing on damage cap, right? So displaying damage as a percent, fully optimization happens at 100% of your potential, okay? We are swinging for 91. We are not doing the max damage we can. Now, each attack that you use is going to have a different damage cap. That's just how it works in this game. If we use a skill, it's going to be much different as well. So here, we're at 120% of our potential on Impale. Close to 100, a little under 100 on Eye of the Storm. And then Martial Spear, we're a little over. We get a better threshold on attack there. Okay, so how do we make it so that this attack is always consistent? Well, we're going to go into our training menu. We're going to go to Gear. And we're just going to add some damage. Right, so for this case, you could add any offensive skill that doesn't change too many other stats. So I'm going to add Stamina. Stamina is a tried and true ability. It is going to give me attack based on how high my health is. So we're going to slap in a couple of those. Actually, we're going to slap in just 2 of those. Yeah. And now, when we go to hit the boss, we should hit for the same number every time. 128, 387. 128, 387. Do you notice in the animation of the attack, there's now like this, it's very faint, but there's this yellow like X slashing through the damage to tell you that we've broken the damage cap, right? We're doing too much damage. So now if we go over to damage cap and we check, 159%, 156%, 141%, 160%. So now you're like, oh, wow, I'm doing 160% of my damage. No. This is where people get confused. This is saying you are dealing 51% too much damage. And I can prove this. Let us add even more power. Right? So now we've got our stamina up. Well, that only goes to level 30. Okay, so now we have our stamina at 30. We have our attack up to 74, so that's max there as well. We can add in some more damage here with crit hit damage, right? So now, boom, boom. So we've added some crit hit there. What else can we add in? We could add in Tyranny. It lowers our It lowers our HP, but it raises our attack. We can do that. And now we're juicing, right? Like now we're super juicing. So now this number should be significantly over 100%. This should be significantly over 100%. 289%. We are wasting so much damage. We could be hitting for literally triple the damage we're swinging for. And if we use a skill, look at this. It's even worse. We're hitting for almost 400%, man. This is a problem. How can we fix this? Well, that's where damage cap comes into play. So let's strip all of this. We're going to go back down. Now we're close to that 100 mark. Now we're going to add in damage cap. This is your bread and butter of actual damage increase in granblue fantasy. This is going to make it. We're going to add just normal. This is going to make it so that way the amount of max damage you're allowed to deal goes up. If we add just 2 damage caps in, we should be hitting well under 100%. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't take out all of the damage. Now I have taken out all of the damage. So now we're at 84. Yeah, look at that. We're at 89, 80. So like our damage is fluctuating, right? If we added more damage cap. Now we have a 250% increased potential plus the 100 that's, or the 350 that's already part of our weapon. Boom. This number should be closer to 60, 76, 72. My math is off a little bit because we're scaled up with our weapon. Okay, so 73%, 68. Yeah, see? It's not looking good. And if you look at the actual damage numbers, we're still hitting for that 123,000, right? We're not weaker. We're not dealing less damage. It's just that our cap has gone up. So, this game wants you to make a balance, right? It wants you to have a balance of your damage and your damage cap. So now we've added in some damage, and we've added in some damage cap. What can we do here? Now we're at 123%. 117. We're just making sure that the damage variance is not going under 100 because there is a little bit of variance here. We can also go into our deathmatch finale state. You're not going to spend much time in the state that I'm in right now, which is Gallanza's natural state. Instead, he goes into shirtless man mode. And he kind of looks like Maui from Moana. Yeah, so now that's only 105% damage. So we're actually pretty optimized right now, right? We're like, okay, that's pretty good. Right? We're looking mighty fine. So, okay, Rin, we got to 100%. Now what? How do I get more damage? I can't add more damage cap right now. We have so much damage cap. What do? We have all the power. How can we possibly add more? Here is where supplementary damage comes into play. This is our next source of damage. So, step 1, we have attack power. Step 2, we have damage cap to raise the amount we can deal. Now, we can deal bonus damage with supplement. Supplementary, I'm going to add in 2 of these, and you'll see why in a moment. Actually, I'm going to add in 3. Supplementary is a 100% chance at level 45. You want to get to 100% chance to deal a bonus 20% damage. Now that I have added these in, you're going to start seeing multiple hits when I swing. So now you're seeing 2 values, and they're both over 100. You're still seeing that damage swing, right? You're still seeing now it's like 153k with the 30,000 damage, right? Look at that. So now we have extra hits, which is good because it's just free damage. Now we've increased our DPS by 20%. Where do we go from here? Well, now we can raise caps in other ways. With the introduction of summons in Endless Ragnarok, now we have The ability is basically to increase our skill cap and our normal cap, right? We don't need more crit. We don't need more attack. So we don't need more skill up because we're already doing max. So let's go ahead and add some skill damage cap or some normal damage cap. For the sake of this test, we're going to add normal damage cap. Look at the cute kitty. We're going to add in some kitties. We're going to put in a referee. No, we're not. He has something else that I don't want to talk about yet. Yeah, we'll do a 50 here. Okay, so now we have 165% increased normal cap. Which, there are diminishing returns. Just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and check our damage cap now. Now we're very close to 100 again. That's great. If we go into this state, while I use Deathmatch Finale, I do have an attack up 30%. So you're seeing, 118% swinging right here. That's going to go away in a second. 124. Yeah, so now we're close to 100. We're actually under a little bit, right? Now we're back under. What do? We add more damage. That's right. Now, so remember, our cap is good. We're under 100%. Now we have to add more attack power. How do we do that? Well, sometimes you're going to have plus sigils, which are double effects. So we have a supplementary. Do we have a supplementary with some damage? We do, but the problem is it isn't something good that we can use. So let's go up to Tyranny or Damage Cap. On Damage Cap, do we have something offensive that can be utilized? We don't. And by default, you're not going to. You'll have to craft it. But with crit rate, we should. So crit rate has stamina. Perfect. So now we're adding in the stamina, which is the extra 52% HP at 52% damage at max HP. So now, remember we were under 100% while we were in Deathmatch Finale. We're going to go back into here. Oh yeah, we should be fine. We're going to wait for our buff to fall off. Now let's see. 143. And this is fine to have percents like this, because at this point you've basically min-maxed what you can do. And this is the basics of your build, right? This is basics of how you're going to increase all of your damage. From here we also have mastery traits. So if we go in here, as you're leveling past 100, after you've broken into the chaos difficulties, you're going to have skill cap, damage cap, damage cap, damage cap, attacks, right? We've got all these things. Let me just add a couple extra in. It's fine. Then we go down here. We're going to add in more damage cap. Skill cap. Eye of the Storm. Attack. Attack. Damage cap. Attack. Increase. We're adding all of these things in. Down here at the very bottom, after you've broken past 30, you're going to get so many damage caps. Damage against foes of a weaker element. We'll talk about that in 1 second because that's a really big one. This is huge. This is huge. Pop that in. We'll pop this in. We'll pop that in. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we've added in all these different sources of damage, right? There is one more thing we can add. Yeah? So we're going to change this back to a supplemental. And now we're well over cap here, so this is fine. And we're going to add in the last big source of damage. These here, supplemental is capped. Our damage cap is good, our tyranny, stamina, all that offense, right? There is one more thing that adds an incredible amount of damage that is not character specific. And it is War Elemental. War Elemental is going to be in base game, and this will make it so that you always have superior element. Basically, you're just dealing more damage, yeah? You're just dealing more damage. So now, if you go in here, yeah, Fuse, I think it'll be beneficial to go over crafting as a separate segment too. We can do that. So now we're hitting for 280%. We added in all these different things in our build, all these different overmasteries, and now it's such an immense amount of damage. In this state, 300%, right? We're way over cap. So it will be normal to change your build as you're getting better, right? As you're growing. So we're going to break over this. Now we can take out some of our damage. So we'll take out the Tyranny, and let's just see where we're at. Now we're at 200. That's way better. And we'll wait for the buff to fall off, and we'll check where we're at there. Waiting, and we're waiting. Yeah, 160%, that's fine. There is another source of damage that we can obtain now that is introduced in Endless Ragnarok. Actually, I think it was introduced in patch 1.2, but in Endless Ragnarok, it's easier to get. Spartan Echo and Berserker Echo. There are other sources of damage later, but we'll talk about them. So Berserker Echo. And then Spartan Echo. These will deal extra supplementary damage if your HP is over 80,000 or your attack is over 25k. And you can use these in conjunction and added with supplemental for even more supplementary damage. So now, both sources of damage are looking pretty good. Before we were dealing only an extra 20%. Now if you look at this, the 161 to 270, that's a lot better, isn't it? Now we get that closer to like, 50, 60. Okay, from here, we could add in any number of new sigils. There is Nyx, where you do more damage if your HP is low. Lumen, where you deal more damage if your HP is high. Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. Deal more damage if you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts. And Incendo, where you'll deal more damage if the enemy's in overdrive, I think. So Ventus just deals more damage, period. This is actually just 10% more on top of all of your damage altogether. This is not within cap. It breaks the cap. You just deal 10% more. Ventus is awesome. Terra will reduce your HP to increase your damage cap, which is pretty good. And then Aqua is going to make you deal more damage, just like it breaks the cap, while the foe is broken, as well as if you're in link attack and chain bursts. That is basically the long and short of how to increase your damage. I feel like this went on for way too long. But it's kind of like necessary, right? Because if I tried to sum it all up in 1 minute, I might leave out information and confuse you. And I want people to understand how the damage works in this game, because I love theory crafting and I love making my own builds. And now that you know all of this, you can too. So if you want to make an immortal build, or you don't want to make a really squishy high damage build, the world's your burrito. You could do what you'd like. There are other things that were added in these mastery traits. Big shout out to against foes of the weaker element, you will deal damage dealt plus 10%. So that war elemental is just increasing 10% damage, period. And huge shout out to damage cap plus 20% per basic stats type sigil. This means that you must have either HP, crit, attack, or stun in the first slot of your sigil for this to work. It's really good. It's really, really good. There's a number of really awesome mastery traits on everybody's build, but those are shared across all builds. And the other one, if you choose to use it, is attack plus 20%, decap plus 50%. But at all times, you are suffering, taking more damage, and taking debuffs for longer, and your movement slowed. You can reduce that. You can mitigate it a little bit, but if you don't feel like running this, it's okay. It's about a 1 to 2% damage loss to not run it, which is basically nothing. It's basically nothing. That helped you, Breeler? Awesome. I mean, this video is being made for people like you who are asking about it, right? So if I can help you, that's awesome. Because you were doing 1100% damage with Coffin Maker. Yeah, that's way too much. But now you know, right? Now you know. And so when you want to make a sigil, remember earlier I was like, oh, I don't have this, right? So it's like, okay, well, I want damage cap and I want crit, but I don't need that stamina. Can I combine them? Yes, you can. So with Sigil Synthesis, you can select two sigils and fuse them and get a combination, right? So let's go ahead and try to make that crit. So you're gonna be swimming for crit later. So let's go ahead and make a stun. Stun is incredibly valuable. Stun is the ability to break the enemy, and in endgame fights, if you don't run stun, you will be more or less griefing your party because it will be incredibly difficult to enter link times or beat certain DPS checks because the enemy is interrupted when you break them. So stun power, very important. So let's say we want to make a stun power. Let's take this. And we're gonna choose ones we don't necessarily want. So I want the stun, but I don't care about steady focus. So we'll select this sigil. And then over here, let's say we wanted to put a damage cap in it because I would like to consolidate, right? So we'll go down and find one we don't care about. Yeah, I don't care about blight resistance. It's going to cost you 50,000 money. You're going to be swimming in money, and it's going to cost you 10 Knickknack vouchers that you'll obtain just by playing the game and like recycling things with Siero. You go over here. On the right, you'll see possibilities. A stun or steady focus. A stun damage cap. Stun blight resistance. Steady focus stun power, right? It's a combination of anything here, right? You could even get damage cap. It's how I got supplementary. So we would like to get stun damage cap. Let's just pray. We did not. So we're going to go again. We choose a stun guts. No, we'll choose the stun low profile, and then we'll choose the damage cap blight because we don't care about them. Blight low profile. Okay, that sucks. Let's go again. Let's find something we don't care about. Combo finisher. It used to be okay. Now I don't really care about it too much. Stun blight. We can recycle that back in, and you could get incredibly unlucky. Sit in for the long haul, so never get rid of sigils that you really like, and build up a stock. Like that could happen. That could happen. I think my favorite... Oh, well, we'll keep going till we get one. And then I'll show you what my favorite bad craft is, because I have one. Oh gosh, there's like... I don't have many. I don't have many left. But yeah, I'm hoping this is helping you guys. Hopefully you're learning something, and you're learning that RNG is a cruel mistress. Damage cap stun power. So this is okay, but it's in the wrong order because it will not proc the extra 20% damage cap increase, which you can increase to 40% with another trait. Damage cap stun power. Okay, so this is cool because now what we can do is we could take a damage cap stun power, and we could take a damage cap stun power again. Where'd the other one go? Yeah, so we could take two of these, and then we can hopefully get what we want. Or, not. Or not. Oh, man. But now we can take the double stun. And you can put in a damage cap. And maybe we'll get lucky. Drain damage cap. Okay. So you get it. It can be difficult. So let me show you my favorite. Let me show you my favorite sigil that I've crafted that I did not care. Look, why do I want this? Foes are more likely to target you, and foes are less likely to target you. Huh? Excuse me? That's so funny, and I have one of each in case I wanted the different slot. You just learned how to get the stats you need that was recommended to you, Tara? You didn't know that this was how it worked until now? Oh, yeah, dude, this is why I'm making this. This is why I'm making this video. I hope it helps you. I mean, this is going to be a long video. I don't expect people to watch the whole thing, but I think it is a good discussion. I haven't really done too many videos like this for long-form content on like YouTube, but I've done this on live streams. So yeah, that's sigil synthesis in a nutshell. It kind of sucks. And when you want to get like special sigils like Warpath, not Warframe. Warframe is a cool game. But when you want like Warpath, which is like your character's signature sigil, the only way to get a plus version of that is through this Transmarvel. Like, let's see. You can get a lot of different things here. Like here we got a Berserker Echo Improve Guard. That might be useful. Maybe somebody could use it. But we're gonna check and see if there is a Warpath sitting here somewhere. Yeah, here's a Warpath with Steady Focus. So like, yes, the Warpath is good, but like Steady Focus is kind of bad because we're gonna have other ways to get that. But okay, this is good. So Sandalphon gets his Warpath and can also get Cascade, which shortens cooldowns as you're hitting. There are some sigils you cannot synthesize, and there are some traits that you cannot get on secondary effects. Like, I don't think I can get a Warpath with Berserker Echo or War Elemental. That'd be cracked, right? That'd be cracked. White Dragon's Warpath with Steady Focus. Guardian's Warpath with Guts. That's okay. Life on the Line is kind of meh. There's a new one? Oh, we got something new. Warpath with Crit. Fearless Spirit. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know who you are. Yeah. So this is the long and short of how to make your builds. Yeah. The long and short of how to make your builds. Oh, recharge damage cap. That's actually kind of cool. I don't know if he uses recharge. I don't. But having a damage cap there is cool. So yeah, that's basically how you do your builds. Make sure when you're leveling up your weapons, your weapons that you are also going to the tree and unlocking all these passives. They work on every weapon. It's not like, oh, the invincible traits only work on invincible. No, they all work on all your weapons all the time. And overmastery is pretty good too. Like we have a normal attack up 20%, skill cap 20%. With skill damage and chain burst damage, we can change this if we want. And it's like, oh, okay, well, this isn't as good as what I had, so I'm gonna hit no. And then you keep what you had before. You just spend the currency that it costs you to do this. And you could farm this for days. Ideally, I want skill cap 20, normal cap 20, stun 20, and HP up. That's my ideal for Gallanza. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helped you, and we can jump back into our live play now and keep working on improving Immortal Gallanza. But yeah, hopefully this helps you understand damage caps. I know it can be very confusing. Don't feel stupid, okay? I know some people feel silly. Don't feel stupid, okay? The game explains it to you, but it also doesn't. So I've taken the liberty of outlining it here, and I look forward to seeing you guys make some really cracked builds. Thank you. Bye.